Greetings everyone, this is Connor from Dagora TV, and in this video we're asking the question, what does Fallout 76 mean for Starfield? So as all of you will know by now, Fallout 76 is the new game that's just been announced by Bethesda on that live stream they did where they had the Vault Boy showed there and the 24 hours and the developers were coming in every so often. They showed a trailer for Fallout 76 and they said we're going to find out more at the Bethesda press conference E3 this year, which is in a week's time from this video or something like that. So what I wanted to do is just kind of talk about all the stuff we've talked about Starfield in the past and kind of all the theories around it, and I just want to talk about, because there's a few people thinking, you know, Starfield was wrong, all the people were wrong, or the internet people were wrong, and all the theories that we put out and everything was just incorrect, and Fallout 76 is the new project coming out from Bethesda Game Studios. And while I'm not denying that Fallout 76 could possibly be one of these two projects, and I think it is one of these two projects, that Todd Howard said in the Games Last interview with Jeff Keighley, and has been regurgitated a couple of times by P. Hines. There's two new projects coming out that are Bethesda Stargaze and different to anything they've done before before the Elder Scrolls 6. I wanted to talk about how Starfield is still, I think, the other project of that, and I do still think that there's a chance that Starfield could be at the E3 press conference for Bethesda this year, and maybe with release date of this year, but if not, could be next year. We'll talk about that when it gets to the end of the video. But anyway, we can safely assume that Starfield is a thing. Starfield is definitely a thing that is a Bethesda property based off of trademarks. And people could be like, oh, you know, but trademarks, just pieces of paper, blah, 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 blah. It takes a lot of work to maintain a trademark for a public limited company. A huge amount of work to do that, in fact. And they've done it since 2016. They've maintained it all the way up ever since they renewed them. They did it for clothing, as we discovered. They did it for the main game and entertainment services, and they did it for game guides and everything. So there's a lot of stuff going around Starfield as like a major project, as a major game. And Bethesda haven't done this for just random things. They've done it for a thing called Starfield. And there's been a lot of bullshit leaks coming out recently about how Starfield is, you know, is a phone game, or it could be an MMO and things like that. And judging by the trademarks of having game guides and everything, we can safely assume that it's not going to be a phone game. So it definitely looks like it's going to be a major game coming out at some point, whether that could be 20 years away, it could be this year, it could be next week, it could be, you know, something that they've worked on and they're not made. It could be a whole bunch of things, but the fact that they've actively maintained these trademarks for so long shows that they want to do something with it. And they've got they've had a website, starfield.bethesda.com, that went up for like a couple of minutes and someone found it, and they took it down again immediately and went to something else. I saw that this guy replied to a tweet from Mr. Mike Plays with that information. But anyway, there's been a lot of leaks coming out after, you know, the Fallout, or, you know, supposed leaks after the Fallout 76 information, you know, a lot of them bollocks, you know, a lot of them just saying complete stuff how, like, you know, the project, they've been lying about start these two projects the whole time, with Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be E3 and it's out this year before Fallout 76, blah, 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 all this nonsense, really. But, you know, some credible leaks say, you know, the game, that Fallout 76 is coming out, you know, this year, and they predicted that before, and they said, and then they replied to that comment afterwards and said Starfield's in development, but it's years away and stuff like that. And then there's other people that have said that they work at Bethesda that have predicted Fallout 76, and then said that Starfield is also coming out this year and stuff like that. And there's a chance of it'll be E3 this year and things, and all that kind of stuff. But personally, I do go along with the theory that there is a chance it'll be E3 this year, and it is the other one of these two projects, and here's why. P. Hines himself has said there's going to be more surprises at the E3 showcase, because someone replied to him on the Twitter comment, said to him, asked him a question, said, why are you revealing Fallout 76 early? It would have been a cool surprise at the E3. You kind of ruining surprises. Are there going to be any surprises left? And then P. Hines said, yes, there's going to be more surprises at the E3 showcase. And people would be thinking, well, obviously there's going to be surprises. They could say anything's going to be surprises. But, you know, he kind of, the way that with the Bethesda conference that we kind of work, that they tend to be, is that there's a lot of stuff that people tend to expect, you know, with Ledge and stuff and ESO, you know, and all that kind of stuff going on. We're over there, and we can expect stuff that games been already been announced, like Rage 2 and that Fallout 76, and that stuff's not going to be surprises. So there could be things like, you could be referring to Doom 2 or something going on at id, but I don't think that's the case after Rage 2 has been revealed, and you can do Quake Champions information, but I don't think that's going to be a surprise. I still think there's going to be a big thing, because the way that Fallout 76 is tending to be structured doesn't seem to be kind of like a major Bethesda Game Studios game, if you know what I mean. Like, it seems to be like big in the sense that, you know, it's something different that they've ever done before, and it's sort of going to be an online thing, and making it is going to take a lot of work. But it doesn't seem to be the kind of thing that's going to be, you know, huge 20, 30 million copies that, you know, Fallout 4 and Skyrim have done. You know, it seems to be something that's going to be like something for the Fallout fans and stuff like that, the fans of Bethesda Game Studios games. Don't get me wrong, it's going to sell very well, but I don't think we can expect Fallout 4 numbers from it. And I think that big thing is still kind of going to be there, and I might be clutching at straws here and maybe thinking I'm talking bullshit because, you know, it's a new Fallout game, but I think once we get new information on that, I think a lot of people are going to be seeing it as kind of like not a mainline Fallout experience, if you know what I mean. And also as well, Hines has come out and said that the showcase is the longest in Bethesda's history. You know, it's going to be a huge showcase, and it's going to be bigger than the one of 2015 where we had, you know, a huge demo of Fallout 4 and him coming out on stage and talking about it a lot. It's going to be, you had the whole Doom 2 stuff when they showed that gameplay off. It showed Battlecry, which is dead now, and the people who are making Battlecry are one of the main developers behind Fallout 76. So that leads, they kind of shared the work with the Bethesda Maryland, so that leaves the majority of the Maryland studio working on something as well, which again adds to a theory of it being a new game and possibly Starfield and so on. And then also as well, we've got all the stuff from that press conference when they announced Dishonored 2 and everything. It was a meaty showcase, probably the most meaty one they've done. So this one being the longest seems that they need something there. They need something else there to add to that to kind of make it bigger, make it better than what it was before. So whatever that's going to be, I personally think there's a chance that could be Starfield and makes it look like that. Who knows what it's going to be. You know, I will admit, obviously, you know, with Fallout 76 being announced, it does slash the chances of Starfield being at the showcase quite dramatically. You know, like, it's never happened before where Bethesda Game Studios have had, you know, 2 major games there, you know, not remasters or VR, you know, releases or something like that. You know, there's 2 major games that they're going to have there on the showcase. And as well, I think it's a kind of a good idea to have kind of Todd Howard come out on stage and have a Fallout or Elder Scrolls thing to talk about when he's announcing something new and completely different than they've done before. Because, like I've said before on this channel a few times, that if Todd Howard just went out on stage and announced something that's not Fallout or Elder Scrolls, people are going to cry. You know, people are not going to be happy. Whereas if he comes out and starts talking about Fallout 76, they go, oh yeah, we've got one more thing, and shows, you know, a brand new IP, people are going to be kind of excited that, you know, we're getting that kind of Fallout fixed, because, you know, there's not going to be a Fallout 5 for a long time. And then, you know, we're able to get this new thing as well. That's kind of cool. You know, we can kind of rely on that. And then I think the Elder Scrolls fans will be happy with that as well, because then that fulfills the 2 projects out before Test 6, because then they can finish those and then go on to make the Elder Scrolls 6. And then that can take the idea of the new animation system that Todd Howard talked about in the interview that he did with Ted Price over at the on the podcast, when he said people are looking, we're getting to that really busy time now, and we're looking at the animations that we're going to be using for the next game, and people thinking, oh yeah, that could be that new tech that Todd Howard was talking about in that Game Slice interview with Jeff Keighley, where he said we're waiting on new tech for the Elder Scrolls 6. That could kind of make sense and to kind of add it up to be the same and could be that thing. So that's going to be really, really interesting to see how that kind of works out, really. But also another thing as well that makes Starfield kind of interesting is that as someone who works at Bethesda, and actually this isn't like someone reporting that's what someone at Bethesda said, this is someone actually at Bethesda. The comments have now been deleted on Instagram, but replied to a comment on one of his posts. This is one of the art designers there, and he was asked about Fallout 76, and is it going to be a Rust clone, and says, don't count your chickens before they hatch, basically. It's not going to be a Rust clone. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Just wait and see for more information at the Bethesda showcase. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And then we had a comment saying and everything, I was kind of looking forward to Starfield and everything. And then he just replied with basically like stay tuned or anything, or like wait to the Bethesda showcase and everything. So that's kind of the first time we've actually seen someone from Bethesda actually reply to a Starfield based question. You know, we've had stuff like Pete Hines, you know, kind of getting a little bit angry at some people who've taken Starfield Twitter accounts and everything based off trademarks. They've acknowledged the trademarks exist, but we've never had anything kind of like that much of a wink as that much of a foreshadowing to a Bethesda press conference as that. So that's definitely very, very interesting. You know, that comment alone kind of leads me more excited to the E3 press conference than hearing about anything else, you know, and everything based basically off hope of what behind says there's going to be surprises. Him actually replying to a Starfield based question and then that getting removed off of his Instagram, them comments, makes me pretty excited that there could be something there. So let me know what you think about the possible Starfield, you know, rumours of it being at E3 this year. Would that be too crazy to think that there'd be 2 Bethesda games at E3 this year? I personally don't, by how much they've expanded the studio. I think it's very much possible. But do I think it's going to be there? It's one of those. I think if it is there, I'd be extremely happy if it is. But if it isn't there, I won't be surprised. I'm not this kind of I'm not the kind of thing. I'm not going to make that kind of prediction that I made last year. 99.9% likely it's going to be there. You know, I'd say, you know, it's definitely lowered the odds after Fallout 76 has been announced that it's going to be there. But that comment to that Instagram post, that's really making me think that Starfield could be at E3. I do think that big thing's going to be there because it just makes sense what Bethesda want to do, and kind of say that they're not going to leave the Elder Scrolls and Fallout fans behind, but want to do something new as well. It just fits the bill. It just fits it, and I kind of want that to be the case, because I'd be really having a new Fallout game and a new mainline Bethesda Game Studios game would be really, really cool. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see for E3. God, there's gonna be a few videos coming out this week as well. You know, with predictions for Bethesda Showcase. There's gonna be me talking about my opinions on Fallout 76 and all that kind of stuff and everything, and how I feel like how that game's gonna go and all that good stuff. I kind of gave a little brief hint on that in this video. But let me know what you think about the Starfield rumors. Follow me on Twitter at Degoris here. I'll be talking about this in a lot more detail, and I will see you guys in the near future. Goodbye.